There it is. That's me. Cool. So I found if you shrink down the camera and make it really crappy, works much better. Cool. Anyway, we're gonna. Yep. And now it's still giving that same warning. Like, your video resolution's too much. Why are you being this way? Uh, we're gonna work on doing a Doctor Who abridged today. If you hear my child in the background, it's only because he's very loud and I am not. All right. And if you hear any, you shouldn't hear any audio coming from the video we're gonna watch, because literally there should be no audio. Because I've been trying to get it to work and it's not gonna work, which is fine, because it saves me in having to do the copyright thing again. But anyway, when we last left our abridged episode, we did. It was the first episode, the pilot episode of Doctor Who, 1963. William Hartlett was our doctor. We were left with Barbara, Ian, and Susan as his companions. Today, we're going to jump ahead to the regeneration of the first Doctor. Way ahead. So much, in fact, that I'm going to have to explain who the fuck these people are when you see them up front. Okay, so we have our Barbara, Ian, Susan, and the Doctor. Okay, so in about 5 episodes from the first episode, called The Invasion of the Daleks, Susan falls in love with a man named David, and she wants to stay on Earth and live out a normal life. That's fine. So the Doctor, being a good grandfather, I guess, drops her off, leaves her there. Okay. So we lose Susan in like 5 more episodes. And then Ian and Barbara, they stay on for maybe 1 more episode, and then there's a Dalek time machine that sends them back to 1963. So they go back to Earth, 1963. So they're gone. But in the same time, we pick up Vicky and Steven. Vicky is another time traveler from the future, and Steven's a space pilot from the future as well. So they're versed in all the tip mechanics, and they know things that the Doctor knows, so they work well with him. Then we lose Vicky in the fall of Troy. She ends up being she falls in love with an ancient Roman guy, and then she stays in ancient Rome forever. Okay, Stephen, and then we pick up Katrina and Sarah. Another future time travelers with Stephen. So it's Doctor, Stephen, Katrina, Sarah. And then we lose Katrina and Sarah like 2 more episodes later. So it's Doctor, Stephen, and then we add in Dodo. Dodo's like from the past, like way from the past. I think she was like an Incan warrior from the past. And Stephen's still a pilot from the future. But then he ends up in some kind of MacGuffin type traveling thing, and he ends up going back to the future and staying there. So he's done. And then and then Dodo, she wants to go back to her people, so they send her back. Which brings us to Ben and Polly. Now, Ben and Polly, they're both from 1965. Polly's a secretary and Ben's a sailor. Just randos. Just random people. So just so that the Doctor has someone to play off with. So that's who's with the Doctor at this moment. Season 4, episode 7, called The 10th Planet. Now, this is the last episode that we'll see William Hartlett. Literally and figuratively. Well, literally. Not the last we will ever see of him ever again. Because there are bits and stuff that we'll see him. I'm going to show a clip later. Well, maybe at the end of the whole movie or the whole episode, just because it's 20 minutes for per episode. But there was like 135 episodes to get to this point. That's a lot. It's a lot. I didn't realize. But the thing about it was, if you try to look online to find even like any of these episodes, 50% are gone. Like, they're just in chunks. Barely you can find any. And I was like trying to find the last episode, the iconic transformation. What the problem is, no one has it. No one has a good copy. And they only have the voice recordings of it. And it seems like, okay, well, that's garbage. And What's worse is like what's online is just like stills from the episode with the voice track underneath. And I was like, I could just do the same thing. It's like, I'll just explain it rather than like having to do the whole thing. So anyway, long story short, we're gonna fly through. I'm gonna go through the first episode of the 10th planet, and then I'm gonna fly all the way to the 4th episode just to explain what happens. Because no one really needs to listen to the audio track like I did and watch all that crap. It was not entertaining at all. If anything, I may just go ahead and just like explain what's gonna be, what it is, or just I'll show the last clip and then it'll be more interesting. Okay, so let's see if I can get this guy to work. Bloop. Hey, there it is. And let's get it started. All right, Doctor Who, season 4, episode 7. Actually, I think this is episode 6. Now, no, I thought I heard the noise. I was like, oh, okay. If you guys are hearing the actual video, I don't think you should be, but I'm not. Yeah, it's just me, and I'm not getting any levels. Okay, cool. All right, I'm also gonna head over to the chat here and see if we have any people watching this with me. Nope. Okay, so far nobody's checking this out, which is fine. Anyway, 1960. The year is 1966 right now. In reality, when they're taping this, but when you watch the episode, they've already met the Daleks. They've already gone through a bunch of adventures with other aliens that they've like one and dones. They'll be done with those guys. This guy's General Hartlick or General Dick Sucker. He's a dick. He's a dick throughout the whole 4-episode series, 4-episode arc he's in. He's like, and it's an American base, and these are British actors doing American voices, and it's very obvious that they're doing American voices. Like, he's doing a very good John Wayne impersonation. Like, well, then, dear Pilgrim, I bet we'll have to make sure that these guys don't come over that way, mate. I mean, yeah. It's not great. But then this guy, he's like a scientist, dude. Dr. I don't know, Dr. not Hatley, something like that. Dr. H or something like that. He's the scientific technique. What's happening right now is they're launching a space probe into space from Earth. And they're like, here's our astronauts, guys. Astronaut Cool McD and astronaut exposition, dude. Because they really, like, you show up in these, like, 4 or 5 scenes, they don't say very much. And it's like, things are going wrong. Things are going wrong. That's basically the gist of it as we get through this episode. And, you know, you can really tell they don't have a lot for the space budget because that hand movement was to be to show the weightlessness of it all. Whee! Anyway, so this is the space station area is in Antarctica, which I thought was weird. Oh, naked ladies, cool, kinda PG, TV naked ladies. And these guys, they have the funkiest New Jersey accents. They're like, "What you guys doing here? What are you guys doing in Antarctica? Oh, I gotta look through these periscopes here because this is the technology that the U.S. government would give us." Like, literally, like, why would you have, how, instead of a radar, instead of like video cameras, right? Like, these are video cameras we're watching on 1963. This is set 20 years in the future. Why wouldn't you have video cameras? I don't know. Like, and then, okay, and then here's the TARDIS. It's materializing. There. It doesn't do the loud boom like it does in like later episodes, but here's our Doctor, William Hartnett, and here's Ben and Polly. And like I said, these are 2 randos because the Doctor, he does this thing where he knows everything, but the 2 randos, they have to ask the questions that the audience asks. Like, where we are, Doctor? What are we going to do, Doctor? Oh, Doctor, help me, Doctor. But from like back behind the scenes, this man right here, this man that's on camera, this man who's acting as an old withered old man is actively dying. He's actively dying. He is not. That's not an act. That's him struggling to survive. And you'll notice, especially this is a 4-part episode, a 4-part arc of this series, of this part of the season, and the doctor's in that scene. 2 more scenes in this episode, and then you don't see him again until episode 4. He's gone for 3 episodes until the last 15 minutes. I was like, I guess that works, because it's like, if he's an old man, he's actively dying. So you're back to these guys. What are you guys doing? What? There's a girl outside. Well, of course I'm gonna see. Oh, boobies. I haven't seen real boobies in over like 12 hours. Oh. Let me get a look at these boobies. What is that thing? The box. Holy Toledo, there's a box outside. So these all pile out because there's a box outside in Antarctica, which to be honest makes sense, because why wouldn't you have a rando, like if it was Area 51 and a rando ass telephone booth just showed up out of nowhere, instantly you're thinking ISIS. Instantly you're thinking Al Qaeda is showing up. No, I mean it's odd, but you would have to go investigate for sure. And I'm just like, okay, I get. And then here it comes, like, but did anyone see the doctor make that trip down the stairs, like across from the TARDIS down the stairs? No, they teleported his ass in rather than just like have him trudge through this fake ass snow set. What are you guys doing down here? Who are you? What are you? Young man, I am the doctor, and you can shut the fuck up. Hey, that's too much talk for an old man like yous. Maybe yous guys want to go to the Briggs. Polly, you think he's going to send us to the Briggs? I'm going to send you out to the Briggs. Call the general. Man, sir, there's no reason to call the general. But doctor, they're calling the general right now. General, there's a man here with a box. A box? Why, yeah, it's a box, right? There's a man with a box, and he's coming. Hey, General, are you there? General, I'm right behind you, you idiot. Oh, there he is. Hello. Who is this? Who do you use? What are you guys doing here? Who are these people? General, they were upstairs, and they had a box, and I'm uh-oh. Did I get blocked because of copyright? Because that'd be funny. Oh, how? Where? Oh. Yeah, it's BBC property. It's gonna... No! Okay. Well, that blows. 13 minutes? Alright. I'm just gonna... Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun. Alright. Well, that's the end of that. Stop the stream. Turn it back on. Come on. Come on. Be a friend. Come on. Oh, you're mean. Come on. Come on. What if I held up a controller and pretended I was playing a game? I could do that too. Come on. I bet Facebook would let me do it. Jerks. Jerk face. You know what? I'm gonna switch